Galaxy backgrounds and galaxy effects are so popular right now, and in issue 3 of Simply Lettering, throughout my masterclass, I'm showing you how to create this galaxy lettering. This video here is going to show you exactly how I've done it, but you can also follow the photo steps in the magazine. What I love about this is that you are using your bright pens, all those lovely colours, but you get that beautiful blended look. So see here how exactly we do it. So for this tutorial, what we're going to do is not lay down our colour first, but instead lay our water down first. So I'm using a water-filled brush pen there, and I'm just going to write my letters. Now, if you want to do pencil lines first, that's absolutely fine. You can do that. You won't be able to see them afterwards. So let me just do a T. What I tend to do is draw it with my water brush pen quite lightly first, and then dip a drop of water in by squeezing the barrel of the water brush pen, and then just drag the water through, and I've got a crossbar. Now you're not going to be able to see this T. In fact, I can barely see it. Here's a tip for you. If you are writing with water and you want to be able to see what you're doing, get yourself a light or a lamp and shine it from the side. That way you'll be able to see the shine off the water, and you can see more where you're drawing and colouring. So I've got my wet T down there, and I'm taking my Caran markers. Now I'm working quite quickly because the water will dry. I'm just going to dip my Caran marker into the T. You can see there the water is pulling that colour beautifully. So now I can see more of where my T shape is. So that's a purple. Then I'm going to go in with a turquoise in other areas as well. And lastly, I'm going to use a black. Now these are just dots, so I'm not joining them up at the minute. I'm not doing any colouring. I'm just letting the water drag that ink out of the pen, like so. And again, there's detailed, let's add a bit of pink as well. There are detailed photos of this happening as well in the magazine, so you can see those also. So once they are like that, you see it's a bit spotty, a bit speckly. The next stage is to take your water pen. Don't squeeze any more water out, just leave it down and just move around. Now I'm starting with my brighter colours, so my blue, I'm going to move around into the edges of the other colours. If you go through the black, just bear in mind that's quite a dark colour, so you may drag that and overpower some of the other colours. So that's why I like to work with the light colours first. So just pulling them around a little bit, not too much, because naturally as this dries they will blend quite a bit and round into that T, like so. So really the pen has done a lot of the work for you, and already you can see you've got those galaxy colours as such there. So what I'm going to do now is imagine you've done your whole word like that, and you can leave that to dry as you move on to the rest of your word. You don't need to work with it once you've done that stage. You can leave them to dry. So I'm going to dry this with a heat gun for you to speed this up, and then we'll do some white splattering for stars in just a moment. So now I've dried my letter completely, and you'll see that the blending is actually more subtle now it's dried as well. So it's really beautiful and already looks like a galaxy effect. The stars are really the finishing touch, and what I suggest for this is a stiff paintbrush, and this is actually one of my children's ones, the ones they used to paint with in preschool. So really firm bristles there, or an old toothbrush does the same job. I've got some white ink. Now this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, my favourite because it's so opaque and it covers anything. I'm not going to dip my paintbrush in and dot my stars around. I want more of a rough, less uniform look than that, and the best way to get random like that is to just splatter. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush into the ink there. Don't need too much, I'm just wetting the bristles, and you'll be able to gauge once you start splattering and flicking whether you need more ink or less. You can't really go too wrong with this, but I would suggest, if you can, bring in this piece of scrap paper underneath. Okay, just to protect your work surface, because the splatters can go a little way. And what I'm going to do is take a paintbrush or something like that, an old piece of wood or cardboard or something, just to flick the paint from the bristles onto the paper. So I'm actually moving my paintbrush down here like so, and that is just splattering onto the T, like so. We get some lines like this, and that's absolutely fine. Lines are perfect because it looks like shooting stars then. So if you're doing that over a complete word, it does look like everything joins up beautifully. Any large blobs like this, doesn't matter too much because you're actually working on white paper, so you can't see them. But what you can do is take a little bit of tissue, if you wish, and just soak some of that up so you can't see it as much. And that's how you create your starred galaxy effect.